Hello and welcome to this presentation on metacognition and self-regulation. I'm going to introduce you to a project that we've been researching on metacognition and self-regulation over the past year with the Farnham Confederation of Schools. In this presentation, I'm going to give you the overview of the project and the vision for the project. I'm going to give you a brief definition of metacognition, and then I'm going to introduce you to the metacognitive tool which we've developed called the Learning Line, and show you an example of the students using this in lesson, and also their feedback of how they found using the Learning Line in their lessons. So first of all, the overview of the project. The project was born out of research by the Education Endowment Foundation, which found that the use of metacognitive strategies in the classroom can be worth the equivalent of an additional 7 months progress for students, particularly in maths, English and science. And the potential impact is particularly high for pupil premium students who may not be exposed to reflective thinking at home. The project is being coordinated by Jackie, and she's being supported by the head teachers in the Farnham Confederation. And the idea behind the project is to create a model that can be used seamlessly across all of the phases within the Farnham Confederation of Schools. And as I said, I have been part of a project team of 4 other teachers from the Confederation, primary school teachers, and myself representing Wayton School as a secondary school teacher. And basically what we've been doing is developing this metacognitive tool that we can use in primary schools and also at secondary level. So the overall vision for the project is to develop the metacognitive skills from infancy right through primary education and secondary. And so that we have a consistency between all of the schools in the Federation, and also so that students are familiar with the tool right through, and it enables them to develop rapidly. And obviously then so that we can plan for effective transitions between the key stages. Okay, so a definition of metacognition. So in the classroom, there are 3 stages associated with metacognition. There's the planning stage, where students actively think about the strategies that they're going to use to complete the task. There's the monitoring stage, where the pupils assess their progress while they're doing the task. And there's the evaluating stage, where the students assess how they have done implementing their plan. So I'm going to introduce you to the metacognitive tool now, and it's called the Learning Line. And it comprises 3 elements. So it comprises a Likert scale, which is the line that you see in the center of the, which is the line that you see here. And Bloom's taxonomy statements, which are these 4 statements here. So I can remember, I can understand, I can apply, and I can create. And 4 reflective questions. So what could you do to help you progress? What could you do to move towards the targets? What is stopping you reaching the target? And what would you do next time? So the Learning Line can be supported in the classroom by a classroom display of Bloom's taxonomy. So you can have all of the thinking skills in your classroom. You can have your key statements, your reflective questions, and you can probably see that Bloom's taxonomy actually consists of another 2, it also consists of extra thinking skills that you can use. So in the model that I've developed, I've just taken the statements and reflective questions that were most applicable to MFL, to my particular department. So it can be used, the Learning Line can be used in conjunction with daily and weekly lesson objectives, or as part of end of module assessment. So in other words, you can use it as you're going along in the classroom, whatever the topic is that you're doing, you can use it either towards the end of the lesson, so the students can assess their learning on that particular topic, or you can use it in home learning lessons. Maybe that's something that you can use easily. I know in MFL I use it for learning strategies, so the students can assess, they can create their own targets, and they can assess how their learning has gone that week, particularly for vocab learning. Or you can use it then as an end of term assessment or an end of unit assessment, again, so the students can assess where they've been. The Bloom's taxonomy statements and reflective questions, as I've said, they can be modified to suit your own subject. So the statements that I've created here and the questions that I've created, they're the ones that I felt would be most suitable in an MFL environment. But you could again look at the you could look at the wording and thinking skills in Bloom's taxonomy, and you could edit that according to your own subject, whatever you think works best. Maybe analysis would work best. I can analyze that particular phrase, might work best in your subject, but it's all open to editing or editing by yourself, or whatever suits your particular department. Okay, so I'm going to go through the student video that I created of the students using the learning line in MFL. So in this video, we're going to see a mixed ability Year 7 French class using the learning line. They're just 1 to 2 weeks into using the tool. Initially, the students work in pairs to assess their progress, and they note down with their markers where they are on the learning line. Again, they refer to the statements and they refer to the questions to help them mark in where they are. They then the next stage is that they write down their metacognitive observations and targets into their exercise book. And then they share, the next part is that they share their reflections within the lesson or with the rest of the class. At the end of the video then, I've asked particular students to provide feedback on how metacognition has helped them in their learning. And the main thing to note throughout the video is because the project aims to help or work with pupil premium students, a lot of the students that appear in the video are PP students or SEN students that are using the tool. So it'll give you a good idea about how they feel the tool is working for them. Okay, so I'm just going to share the video with you now. Now, at the start of the video, I'm going to forward it a little bit to particular sections where I can focus in on what's happening. Okay, so this is the students using the learning line in the classroom. And I'm just going to forward a little bit. You can see here that they're discussing the statements. It's a collaborative process. They're checking the work to see how they've done. And it's really, I think what's interesting about this is how they're actually discussing how they can do better. They're really looking at the questions and the statements to see how they can improve. Okay, so I've just moved forward a little bit on the video. So you can see this is the stage now where the students write down their metacognitive reflections and their targets into their books. Again, they're using the statements from the Bloom's taxonomy to help them with that.
I think I can create because I have made many sentences about this topic, and I can do it well without making any mistakes.
Really good. And is there anything that you think you could do better or do differently the next time?
Probably just add more connectives and add more phrases and stuff.
What kind of stuff?
Like the point and the reason why behind everything.
That is lovely. So you could add connectives and reasons with your opinions. Well done, Sam. And let's start with you, Lily. Where do you think you are in the learning line?
I think I can create, because I can create my own sentences using adjective agreement and plural and feminine forms.
And is there anything that you could do differently or better the next time?
I think I could work on the colour, agreeing with the noun in my sentences.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Well done. Archie, what about you? Where do you think you are in the learning line?
I think I'm on I can apply the masculine and feminine forms to adjectives and nouns.
And what do you need to do to move along the learning line, Archie?
I can practice my spellings and vocabulary.
And what sort of resource would help you do that?
Maybe a mind map or flashcards.
And anything else that might help besides the resource?
Maybe someone to revise with.
Okay, and who do you think would be a good person to ask?
My friend Lucas.
Lovely. And when are you going to do that then?
Maybe Thursdays on home learning class.
Lovely. Well done. Thank you both very much. Where are you on the learning line?
I think I can create because I remember all everything I need to. All the vocabulary. I can understand what it means. I can write down a translation for I think every sentence so far, and I have also been able to create my own sentences.
And what do you need to do next?
I think that I need to revise a bit more and try and understand the spelling and for some words. For example, the translation of verb, which was oisu, I think it was, and also I think I need to remember some more of the grammar.
Lovely. And what are you going to do to help you do that? What would be a good resource for you to make?
I think maybe revision cards might be slightly useful because then I will be able to look at on one side I could have the word translated into French, and then on the other side I could have it as a plural or as a feminine.
Well done. Thank you so much, Shake. Well done. Thank you. Lily, has metacognition helped you in your learning?
Yeah, it's helped me to create more advanced sentences with the present tense and the imperfect tense.
And Jake, has metacognition helped you in your learning?
I think it has helped me to realise which targets I need to go for.
Lovely. Well done, both of you. Thank you so much. Okay, so that was a brief overview of the students using the learning line in MFL lessons. I hope that you found that useful. Here are just some of their reflections that they wrote in their books. You can have a look at that as well. And I hope you found this useful. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me, or if I can be of any help in setting up metacognition, the learning line in your department, or you need some resources, I can send out a resource pack with the Bloom's taxonomy and everything that you need to create the learning line and create the classroom displays as well. Thank you so much for your attention, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.